Right. So you need finish file. Finish file. You need some orbs as well. You're gonna need some orbs. You have to buy the following. That reflexor, gyro, peacemaker 1, toughness, turbos, jetboard desert, ammo, invuln, light jack, and then you buy hero mode. Okay. Alright. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to keep this file. So this is not a hero mode file currently. Obviously, you're going to buy everything. You're going to save this. Alright, so we're going to save this file here. This is so you can remake more hero mode saves, right? So you can remake more saves. Alright, so you don't want to save over this file, right? So we're going to keep that one. Then this one is your hero mode file, right? So this is what you're going to do runs on. You're going to do runs on this, so I have all the stuff. So now, that's my hero mode file. We do not save over this one either. So if you're on PS2, you take the memory card out of the PS2. So we load. So we're going to load. I'm going to take the memory card out of the PS2, and then you stop the autosave, and then you can start the run from here. Right? Now, I'm currently on OpenGoal, but I'm going to go over both the PS2 and also OpenGoal strats as well, okay? I'm going over both. I also have debug in the corner. You don't have that on for runs, obviously, whatever, right? Anyway, now that I'm here, I have all my secrets, and we're all ready to go, right? So, blah, yellow, yellow 2, yellow 3, peacemaker 1, toughness, turbs, hero mode's on, jetboard, ammo, invuln, light jack, right? That's at the absolute minimum that you need to run this category. You need these. It's a must, right? You must have these, right? So that is the absolute must. Okay, cool. Now, when you load a file, so just keep this in mind. It's not really a big deal, right? It's not a big deal, but when you load a hero mode file like this, you're gonna start in this position where like Jack's like here, and then the light's gonna be over here, right? Like that, right? So that's for like anything that's on console, right? So if you're on console, if you're like PS2, 3, PS4, 5, right? Okay, anything. So when you load a hero mode file like that, it's gonna be like this, right? You're gonna be in this position. But if you're on OpenGoal, it's a bit different. So if I'm on OpenGoal and I go, okay, hero mode start, right? So hero mode start, and then I reset, I'm actually not in that position. I'm actually in the default regular position, right? So it's slightly different. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But you are in slightly, so if you're on OpenGoal, you're in a different position, right? So when you do resetting from the speedrun menu on OpenGoal, you're going to be here instead, right? Now, when you do also, when you are also setting up hero mode, it's not a big, yeah, you have all the hero mode stuff like by default, all the secrets by default. So you can like tick a few of them off, but it's not a big deal. Again, you have endless ammo. That's what we talked about. Endless dark jack, not a big deal. You don't really need that. Light jack is a need. Invulnerability, all the same things, right? You have turbo, vehicle heart, like vehicle HP, fast jetboard. Anyway, you have all the stuff. So if I check here. I should have all the... Yeah, I have, like, everything, basically. It's not a big deal. Again, you only need, like, the bare minimum, as what I said. But, again, you can just buy everything, right? It's not a big deal. Okay. So. I'm going to go from here, I think. I like to go from here. Okay, so we're going to go over... Yeah, so just all the beginner shit. Only beginner strats. Okay, also keep in mind, okay, so everything that I'm about to say about OpenGoal will also pertain, it will also count for PS3. So OpenGoal and PS3 are the exact same thing, okay? So any strats that are on OpenGoal are also for PS3 people as well. So if you're playing on PS3, do the same thing for OpenGoal. Otherwise, anything that's on PS2 is like PS2, and then that also counts for PS4 and 5. Pretty sure, yeah. So anything that's PS2 is 2, 4, and 5, and then OpenGoal is OpenGoal, and then also PS3. So there's different strats. Anyway, I'm gonna go over both the strats. There's like a few different shit that we do for both PS2 and OpenGoal. We're gonna grab this and then just uppercut spin to this corner. Okay, so grab that, uppercut spin to that corner. Okay, so like that. Right, not hard. Okay, now again, normally you would be in a much better position. So if you were to do it from like an actual hero mode file, it'd be like this. You'd like you don't have to like move towards it. You just punch it and you'll grab it automatically, right? So you don't actually have to do that if you're doing it from like a file. It's not a big deal. All right, grab that, and we're gonna uppercut spin as like an extended, right? Uppercut spin to here, jump to this. Okay, so you can do this. So okay, so we're gonna hover to the flag in the back here. Now you can do it from either here. You can do it from either this platform, or you can uppercut again to here and do it from this platform, which is a little bit higher, so you don't have to hover like mash as much, right, to get the height. So you can do it from a bit higher from here if it's a bit hard, right? Or same thing again, you do the same thing, you can do it from as high as possible from here, okay? This is as high as possible. So again, you can do it from either here, here, or from this platform. Not a big deal. Otherwise, we're just aiming for the flag here, okay? So not a big deal. This is like the earliest, you probably should be doing it. Probably, so. Side flip, hover here. Bang, and then we're gonna go over the flag. Okay, and you want to drop about, I don't know, maybe 10-ish or something. That's fine. Okay, now when you're dying, so when you take a void death here, you want to mash X. It saves 1 second. All right, it will save 1 second if you mash X on this death. Okay, so we're gonna mash X on this death. There we go. All right. So normally if you don't mash X, the camera zooms into the void a little bit. So there's that. Okay, so coming out of that death, Jack's like, what is he? He's like, okay, he's facing like, fuck, I can't even. He's facing like fucking like 5 o'clock, right? He's like facing 5 o'clock. I can't even, whatever, the camera. Anyway, he's facing 5 o'clock, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna, I'm gonna mount jetboard, right? But while I mount, there's gonna be like a mounting hop like that, yeah, right? So when I mount, I'm gonna hold this way, okay? So I'm like facing straight, right? So when I mount, I'm gonna hold like the turn around, right? So when I mount, it turns around when I hold, right? And then we're going hover out to that, right? So otherwise, so if I hover flat like this. I have to go over the platform like that, right? So if I hover flat, I gotta go over the platform. Okay, see? But if I turn around, so if I turn around and hover this way, I'm hitting it from below, right? So that's a bit faster doing that. This is not hard. This is really easy. You just gotta keep up with me. Keep up with me. Okay, so the first thing we do, so when we skip the cutscene, the first thing we do, we're just gonna jump, spin, and then just shoot a gyro, just literally anywhere. Okay, literally anywhere, just jump, shoot a gyro anywhere, and then make it so it stops in the air as well. Because when you shoot it, it will fly away, but you just like you just mash the shoot, so it just stops in the air, right? So the first thing you do out of this cutscene, you just immediately just jump, shoot, just jump, spin, shoot a gyro, right? Here we go. Okay, done. It's in the air. Doesn't matter. Okay. So, I'm going to come up to this platform, and then we're going to ready a second one. So we're shooting, so again, we're facing towards the middle of the stage, right? So we're facing, here though, you guys can see the mouse, right? Okay, cool. Right, so I'm facing towards the middle of the stage now. I'm just going to wait until the first one's done. Alright, another one, and that one's also stopped as well, okay? So that's easy, not hard. Okay, now, doing this, you should always get 7. You should be getting 7 here. Alright, there's 7. Alright, here, okay, this one's number 7, okay? He's number 7, okay? So, you should always get 7. Alright, then you kill number 7 with either Peacemaker, or you could use like the, like the red gun or something. Yeah, you can use that too. That's probably a bit better, maybe. I don't know. I like to do the Peacemaker, that's just me. So you do that, okay, then you get 6, okay? Now, okay, I'm a little bit slow here. Okay, so after you get 6, you're going to hover up to the top, okay? So I have to reset because of the lava, right? So let's do this again. Bang, 1, doesn't matter, up here. Face the middle. Okay, done. Alright, I'm waiting for number 7, he'll come out here. I'm just going to ready it. Yeah, I'm just shooting here. Okay, he's done, I got 6, now we hover up. Okay, now this is also not hard. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so this is going to be the next bit. Okay, so we're going to stand. So I'm going to, okay, so we're going to, okay, make sure you do not, okay, so when you do this, I don't know how to explain this. Okay, walk into the position first and then pull out the gun second. Okay, do not pull out the gun first and then move into the position. We're going to move into the position first and then pull out the gun second. Okay. It's going to be it's a slightly more optimal to do it that way, just because it's like, you know, you don't have to fiddle around with your position, right? But we're going to move into the position first, and then we're going to pull out the gun next, okay? So I want to be to the left of this platform, like the table, right? So I'm going to be on the left of the table, okay? So I'm moving into the position, cool. Then I turn around, right? So I'm the left of the platform, the table. I'm turning around first, and then I pull my gun out, right? Cool. Okay, so now what's going to happen now is I'm going to shoot a nuke. Now, the nuke's going to go... Okay, so you want to shoot the nuke to the, like, left diagonal. So the left diagonal. And then the gyro gets shot full-on straight, okay? So the gyro is full-on straight, and then but the nuke has to be diagonal, okay? So left diagonal, but the gyro is straight on, okay? Okay, so... We shoot. Okay, so the nuke. Okay, so we're gonna shoot the nuke as soon as this box opens. As soon as the box opens, we're gonna shoot the nuke. Okay, as soon as the box opens, shoot the nuke. Then we're gonna like tap forward. So we're gonna shoot. So once the nuke has been shot, we're gonna tap forward. So we're straight for the gyro. Okay, so we tap forward, and so the gyro ends up being straight. Okay, so there's that. And then also when you shoot this gyro, you do not stop it, okay? You only press it once. If it is stopped, it will not work. The gyro has to be moving here. So the first 2 that you shoot on at the beginning are stopped. The third one is not stopped. Okay, so we're gonna shoot diagonal left. When that box opens, then I immediately shoot a gyro straight after tapping forward to straighten up. Here we go. Bang. Immediately, and then a 2 gyro. Straight. Perfect. Easy. There we go. Alright, nice. We're just going to mash up and down on the D-pad like this, just to swap guns. Again, so like the game wants you to like at least select the blaster, right? Because there's like an invisible wall that's like surrounding the circle here. So that's like surrounding the circle. So you just want to be like up and down on the D-pad, just so it's like, oh, okay, cool, I've selected the gun before, right? So just do this a little bit. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So okay, cool. So now, okay, this is probably, I could probably teach this way. Okay, so we aim. Okay, so we're gonna go right to the edge of the circle. Again, like roughly, you know, like here's fine, right? Again, yeah, like. Actually, this is a pretty good visual. Actually, yeah, this thing, yeah, you want to stand like in the middle of this. This is actually pretty good. This little like line, this bit here, that's pretty good. I like that. That's good. All right, yeah, that's cool. All right, do that. Cool. So stand about there. That's fine. Okay, so then we're gonna aim straight for like the corner of this platform. Kinda in here is fine. Probably just here. That'll be right. All right, cool. So then we're gonna jetboard, side flip, and I'm gonna jump that way, right? So I'm gonna jump straight into that. But when I do jump, I'm gonna hold X. Okay, you have to hold X, right? So you have to hold X. It gives you the perfect amount of jump height to make it, right? So, side flip, hold X into the corner. The door's gonna open. The camera's gonna go up like that, right? That's how you got it, right? So the camera's gonna go up, right? And then you'll skip cleaver like that. No big deal. Alright, cool. Punch board out of this. Blah, we're going this way. You can jump over that. All right, cool. So then, so coming up now, you do not have to. Okay, so this hover is not required. So again, so for a beginner, you don't so you don't have to do like at a beginner level. Again, if you're just learning, you don't have to do every hover that I'm doing. Okay, so I'll tell which ones that you kind of don't really have to do. So this one you don't really have to do. Okay, it's not a big deal if you miss it. It's okay. All right. But otherwise, we're gonna aim for. So we're gonna at least be aiming for. So we have to hover over the barrier, in between the two pillars. Okay, so we've got pillar, the right pillar and the left pillar. We want to go anywhere. We want to be hovering over anywhere from the left. Yeah, so anywhere in between the left and the right. Okay, that's fine. So do that. It's really important. Okay, so. So I'll do the open. So there's two versions of what's gonna come up after this. So I'll do the open goal first. Okay, so open goal first. Okay, cool. So, blah, hover over this thing. All right, cool. Okay. Actually, that's a pretty bad angle. Let me do that again. All right, cool. So there's two ways to do this. Okay, so there's an open goal way. Okay, whatever. I'll just do that. Okay, so if you're on open goal, you're gonna dismount immediately. All right, so when you go over, if you're on open goal, you would dismount immediately, and you're gonna go straight into the car. All right, straight into the car. Okay, so there's that. And then you'll drive toward. Okay, don't boost. All right, but you'll drive towards the door, then the door will open like that. Right? Okay, cool. Right. So there's that. If you are on PS2, if you're on PS2, you have to do it. Okay, you don't have to, but it's optimal to do it this way. Okay, it is more optimal to do it this way. All right, so if you're on PS2, it is more optimal to do it this way. All right, so what's gonna happen on PS2? Do the same thing on PS2. All right, hover over the wall. All right, and then we fall. Okay, so we're gonna go. Okay, so I'm gonna continue going forward until the door makes a hiss. Okay, so on open goal, this loads way faster. On PS2, it loads super slow. Okay, so what's gonna happen is you're gonna go, you're gonna jetboard up until about this rock, this stone. So about here. The door's gonna make a hiss sound like a steam. Okay, and then you're gonna punch back. All right, you're gonna punch ball back and grab the car. Now, because you're going towards the door first on PS2, right? On PS2, because you're going towards the door first to make it hiss, it will load faster the second time you come to it. So, because I've gone to it the first time, I now grab my car, and then the door will open faster my second time, right? This is PS2, the PS2 thing, okay? But on open goal, you don't have to worry about that. You just get in and drive up for it. Alright, cool. There's that. And then we're going to do car movement, car and boost movement. I'm not really going to teach it because it's very specific. It's very hard. A beginner does not need to know how to do this like crazy optimally. Okay, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm not going to cover it. There's just too much to cover. Okay, like the movement here is just too much to cover. I can't cover it in like one video like this. Yeah, like it's like I'll be here like for like a whole hour explaining how to do this like perfectly. It's not exactly easy. Not easy to do. Okay, so open goal first. Alright, we're gonna do open goal first. Okay, so once we get to about once we get to, so I'm just gonna like kind of just jump off and then just dismount car. Alright, cool. So when we get to about here, we're gonna do open goal first. Okay, open goal first. Alright, here we go. So jet boards, and then what's gonna happen is we're gonna jump. Okay, so I like to do it. This is a good stone, actually. This stone right here. Okay, we're aiming for this stone, this little pebble here, the stone. Okay, or like maybe the left palm tree. Okay, so like the left stone or the palm tree. Okay, so yeah, pebble or the left palm tree. Okay, cool. So we're kind of aiming for that, right? So that's gonna be our little aim. We're gonna aim for that. So we line up with either one of those two. And then, okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to go from here. We're going to do a massive hover. We're going to mash really fast. And we're going to try and go over the mountain. And we're going to land inside the, like, so we're going to land, like, just outside the temple, right? Okay, but the thing about this, okay, so it's really important. So we're going to try and aim for the little indentation in the mountain, right? So you see how it's like really high on the left side, right? The mountain's super high on the left side, and then it's kind of high on the far right, but we want to be aiming for the indentation, right? There's like a bit of a V going on here, right? So because you be aiming for the V, you can go over like so like you don't have to mash as much to get over the V section, right? Otherwise, if you're too far to the left or the right, you're gonna have to mash like a lot harder to get over it, right? So we want to make it easier on ourselves to not mash as like to not require so much height. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we line up the pebble or the left palm tree, and then like we just kind of like like aim. So we kind of like line up either of those two with the V, with a hover, right? So that we can like straight on, like just straight catch that. Fuck. Right, yeah. So I'm lining up with that. Blam. It's not a big deal, but alright, I'm roughly that where the V's at. Okay. And then we're just gonna mash real hard here. Alright, we're aiming for the V. Alright, it helps out to aim for the V. Alright, cool. Okay, and then, okay, so you pass over the mountain. Hopefully, you'll see a mountain. Hopefully, if the camera's good. Okay, there's a mountain. Alright, cool. And then I can, okay, and then you also see, like some, like some plants. There's plants. You can see some plants, or like some of the plants, like where the sand is at the bottom. Okay, my camera was kind of high here, so you didn't really get to see all that. But yeah, so yeah, you dismount and then you land here, and then cool, we're at Temple, right? No big deal. And then what we're gonna do, and okay, and then you punch into this and grab the cutscene for the next area. Okay, cool. All right. Yes. Okay. So PS2, we're gonna do. There's like a slight skip we can do on PS2. Okay. So it's actually not fast. It's not faster. Okay. So you can still do the hover into the mountain and stuff, if you really want it, but it's not faster on PS2. Okay, so on PS2 we're gonna do, okay, so this is a first kind of skip, but the first thing we do here, so we're gonna do river, no, okay, this is island hop. Okay, this is island hop. It looks like this, looks like that. We just skip an island. There's an island. Yeah, we just skip a little island here. No big deal, right? Okay, island hop. I will go over this as well, so this is good. All right, so to do this, it's not hard. This is not hard. So from back here, okay, so we aim for, okay, so what's going to happen is, again, so pretend, so I'm going to go at this at like full acceleration, right? Okay, so you should be going at this at full acceleration, all right? Not a big deal, right? All right, so when I do go for this, it'll be full acceleration, okay? Okay, so I'm aiming for, so we're going to be straight on, I'm aiming for kind of, I'm aiming for like in between the palm tree and the torch, so like right in here is really nice right there. But what we're gonna do is again, so we line up like in between again the torch and the palm tree. We line that up with the last. There's like this last stone, right? So we have to drive over this stone right here, right? So we drive over this stone. So we line up this stone that I'm on right now. We line up this stone with in between these two, right? So straight on like that, right? That's what we're lining for. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now when we go over the stone, we're gonna hold south on our direction. Okay, so when I'm driving over the stone, I'm gonna hold south, right? And so what we're gonna do is we're also gonna, okay, and then you also like release your jump as well. Okay, so when you drive over the stone, you hold south and then also release the jump, right? So you're gonna jump from here over here. Okay, so then when to boost, so this also has to be done with a boost as well. So what's going to happen is this last patch of grass is when you boost. Okay, so when the front wheels, so when you drive accelerate, when the front wheels get to the last grass, you're going to boost, and then when you drive over the stone, you're going to hold south on the analog and release the jump, right? So it shouldn't be hard. Okay, with the lineup shouldn't be hard. So I'll do it all in full. So again, pretend I'm like, full acceleration, right? So we'll do it from full, not hard. Alright, cool. So I'm aiming, alright, boost, grass, hold back, and release over the stone. You'll land right here, good. Blah. Cool, alright. Not too hard. It should be pretty easy. It's not. It really isn't that hard to do as long as you do it that way. Okay, so this does not work on PS3. No. Okay, yeah. So what I'm about to do now is PS2 only. This does not work on PS3 and OpenGoal. Okay, it is a skip. Now I am currently playing on OpenGoal for this video, so it won't work, but it will work for the PS2 people. Okay, so what's gonna happen is we're gonna go to like what, the second to last island. Okay, so I'm on, that's the last one, second to last right here. Okay, we're gonna jump into the water slightly to the left. So that, it's not a big deal. This is not very precise. All right, just slightly to the left. Right, just anywhere out here is fine. Okay, so we're gonna jump off. Now the car has to be flat. Okay, so when it hits the water, right? So this is the water, right? This is the water. When it hits the water, when the car hits the water, it has to be flat. Okay, it has to be like generally flat. If it's like tilted to the side, or if it's like whatever, like this or that, it ain't gonna work. Okay, so it's gonna be flat. Okay, and then when I touch the water, so before I hit the water, we're gonna boost and first person camera. Okay, so I'm gonna boost and first person camera. Alright, so I'm just gonna jump off, not a big deal. Bam, car is flat, and then boost first person camera. Now that will work on PS2. That is going to work on PS2, so don't worry, it won't work here because I'm on OpenGoal. That's not going to matter. Alright, I'm currently playing on OpenGoal, it's not going to work. But it will work on PS2. Okay, so that's going to put you halfway up the temple, so when like you go to temple and there's like the stairs that go like halfway up when you do the climb, it'll put you there, alright, so that's not a big deal. It'll put you halfway up temple like this, right? So from here, we just punch board down the stairs, and yeah, just go back down to the floor. We just want to go to the flag, to the hammock, right? Now again, so if you're on OpenGoal, you're gonna for any of the OpenGoal people, you're gonna grab there's a cutscene through the door. Grab the cutscene through the door, and it will just put you here automatically. Okay, so both the PS2 and the OpenGoal is now at the same spot. So now we start back from here. Alright, cool. So on the hammock, we're gonna jump and spin. You guys can see the mouse, yes. Okay, jump and spin into this pillar from the top. Alright, jump and spin from the pillar to the top. So we're gonna, wait, hold on. Jump, spin, yeah, like that. Alright. Jump, spin over it. Oh no, I'm messing up. Jump, spin, yeah, like that. Alright, kind of like over it, yeah. So like you want to jump, spin, like not directly in front, okay? Like not directly in front of it, but like from the right side, okay? So you jump, spin from the right side, not directly in front, okay? And then you'll get into the pillar. You also got to kind of like slightly hold forward when you're going down the pillar as well. So when you're coming down the pillar, you slightly hold forward as well. Like that, yeah, that's good. Alright, cool. Okay, and then you'll land here, okay? Now, okay, so that's... Okay, you can also do it with a gun as well. So you don't have to do it with a gun. I don't like doing it with a gun, but you can do it with a gun as well. So with the gun, it's going to be like jump, shoot, like that, spin to get in there, right? You can jump, shoot with the gun. That's not a big deal. Alright, so you can do it that way as well. There's plenty of ways to get in here. You can do an uppercut from up here. So when you land on this platform, you can uppercut, spin. Wait. Oh my god. Oops. Uppercut, spin like that from in there, from that bit, from that platform there. You can like land. You can like kind of spin and land on this little bit like this, and then you can do that. There's plenty of safe ways to go about it. Or if you're up on this rock, like here, you can like jump, spin from below. Anyway, you hold forward. So when you're coming down the pillar, you hold forward just a little bit because it will push you out a little. So if I'm not holding forward, it will push me out, right? So I'll do it with the, it'll push me out, watch. So if I'm not holding forward, it'll push me out. Okay, it didn't do it. Wait, hold on. It should. Yeah, like that, yeah. Okay, it kind of pushes you out, right? Like that. So you gotta like hold forward just a little bit so it doesn't push you out. Kind of like that. Alright, cool. So you can't really see because the camera's all messy, right? So first person camera, and then we get to turn around. So turn the camera around, and then back out of it again. First person back out. Now we can see, jump around like this. And then we're going to come to here. Now, okay, once again, there's plenty of ways to do this. I'll go over all the ways. Okay, so you can boost it uppercut as well. So we're going to aim like, yeah, there's the stairs. Just aim for like this bit. It's like, yeah, that's good enough right there. It's fine. Aim for there if you want to do, yeah, so you can see, like, you can boost it here, so you can boost it off of the edge of this. Oh my god, I'm bad. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah. Anyway, you can boost off the edge of this. Okay, whatever. Okay, you can boost it. I'm not gonna do it. Whatever. You can do that. You can also do a concussor. So this isn't too hard. I kind of don't really want to teach this, but it's like the absolute easiest way to do this. I'd argue. Okay, so you stand in this stone, and then we're gonna be roll jumping towards like the diagonal here. The diagonal. So we stand in the stone, roll jump diagonally to this edge, to the tip of this edge, and we roll jump that way, and then we're gonna end up roll jumping towards like down here, right? And then you're just gonna spam like just shoot and spin. So you just spin, just spam spin and shoot, and you should you should make it to the stairs after you do the roll jump, right? So this is not hard. I mean, so roll jump and then just mash toward, yeah, just mash spin and shoot towards the stairs here. You should grab it. It's not a big deal to the boards this, but you can do that. That's pretty old. That's very, very old. Anyway, yeah, so you can boost it towards it. I didn't really show you that, whatever. The way I kind of want everyone to be doing it this way though. This is not a hard way, as well. But I feel like everyone should be doing it this way now. So we're gonna jet board, and then yeah, so we jet board, we side flip. But if I do like a max height jump, I'm gonna splat, right? So if I do this and then I dismount, I'm gonna splat like that, right? So it like, sure, it makes it so like it makes it so you get all the way down. It makes it so you get all the way down the stairs, but you splat because of that. So the way to fix this is you can do like a short hop, like a short jump, right? So if I just tap X, I just short hop instead. So just for example, right, like the jet, so when you jump on the jet board, the height is determined by how long you hold the jump button for. So if I hold it really long, I get a really high jump, right? But if I'm just tapping it, I get like a really short hop, right? So if I just tap it, you just get short hops instead. Right, so that's what we want to do here. We want to short hop from here, right? So we do side flip into short hop, and then when we get down to the stairs, so. Alright, and then we dismount like that, right? Bam, dismount, and then we don't splat. We don't splat here. So that's how you do that. Okay, cool. So this will be Temple Skip. It's not too hard. Okay, so we have to go. So we're gonna. Okay, you have to jump kind of where the stairs are. So like don't jump out like that. Yeah, you can't do that. Okay, so you have to get. So there's a load trigger. Yeah, you have to hit here. So you can't like jump around like that, otherwise you won't get the load. So you have to jump. You have to like jump towards, like basically where the stairs are. So not around it, yeah, like through it like that, yeah. And then that'll deload. Okay, you have to deload the water. So it must be black. It has to be black. So you just come here and grab that load. You can also, okay, if like jumping like that is a bit, whatever for you, you can just jump to this and then jump to that. Like, it's not a big deal. You just jump. It's basically just anywhere like inside of here to like near the stairs, but you can't jump around it, obviously. Alright, cool. So you can do like some roll jumps down the stairs, blah, right, this, whatever. I bonked. Okay, so this is a hover you must do. You have to do this hover, alright? So we're going to do a hover now. This is a must do. This is a must-do hover here. Okay, so on PS2, you don't actually you can't see so much of this on PS2 because PS2 doesn't load like stuff further away. So this will be black, okay? So you won't have that many visuals to go off of on PS2 because it doesn't load all of this from here. Because like PS2 doesn't load stuff like further out as much. But we're on OpenGoal, so we can see a lot here, but it won't be like that on PS2. So the setup for this is I like to do, okay, so keep in mind this wall. So we have this wall here, this whole entire wall, and then we also have the corridor frame, right? The frame of the corridor, right? So again, you can't really see what's in front of you, but I like to do this. So just to get a good straight shot, right? Just to get a good straight shot, I'm gonna use this wall to cover the door frame. I think it's maybe like this line. I'm not sure. It's better to see it on PS2. Like I know what the PS2 visual is here, but for the OpenGoal visual, I don't actually know. But yeah, so you're gonna use this wall to cover the door frame. So we're gonna do. I'm just gonna. I can't remember where it is. Which bit is it? I think it's that. Yeah, I think it's that bit. Yeah, that bit there. Yeah, this bit, like this darker bit right here. Okay, right. So you use the first wall to cover the door frame, right? Okay, and then that gives you a nice straight shot. So we're gonna do straight shot from here upward. Yeah. So from here, okay, yeah. So right here we're gonna do side flip, hover forward, right? Hover forward, bam. That's good. Okay, so you should. So your hover should be straight on, and you should be passing through the second half, right? So you see how the corridor's made up of it's made up of quarters actually. So this is the first quarter, the corridor's first quarter, second quarter, third and fourth quarter. Okay, we should be passing over the third or the fourth. All right. So we go straight shot from the third or the fourth. Okay. Third or fourth. Also holding camera to the left also helps as well. Not a big deal. We keep hovering, and then we're gonna stop when we get to the rotator room. We're gonna land in the middle section, right? So I'm in the middle section. Okay, we've landed in the middle section here. So that's the first one. Blam, I'm on the middle one. I'm also on the right. So this is the right side of the rotator room, and that's the third one. Okay, there is a cutscene. No. Sorry, there is a checkpoint. There's a checkpoint we have to hit right here. Okay, so we hover to this, and we have to at least be passing over this arc. There's an arc here. You see this? Bam, right here. You got to pass under this arc at least. All right, either the camera or Jack, same thing, right? So pass under the arc. All right, that will give you the checkpoint for up here, and then we have to take a death. All right, take a death here. Okay, cool. So now this door at the back has loaded. That's not really a big deal, but that has to be loaded for this to work. Alright, cool. So the death, so we do the death so this door loads, right? Because that door has to be loaded for this skip to work, right? Alright, cool. So once that's done, blah, this way. Alright, fall down. You don't have to worry about the door, but the door has to be loaded, okay? Then you come this way. Okay, now we're here. Okay, so from here on out, so from the rest of the temple, if you die from here onward, the skip will not work. You cannot save it. The run is over. Okay, so you cannot die in this room. You must not die in this room. Well, the run is over. There is also a cutscene on this line. This line, which goes across the floor. I'm using the mouse, right? You can see, right? This line that goes across the floor. There is a cutscene here. You cannot touch this cutscene either. This cutscene also ends your run as well. You cannot touch this line. This cutscene, okay? There is additionally also a cutscene in the circle in the center of the stairs here where you grab your light jack power. That is also a run end as well if you touch that cutscene as well. So do not touch any of those. So to skip this, we're going to do a hover. We have to hover over the cutscene, right? So we stand roughly about here. I don't mind this square. Where is it? Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, okay. All right, my line's fine. Okay, so yeah, okay, so we're gonna go about this square. I like this square. This is a good square. Here, yeah, this rectangle right here. This is good. That's a good one. Okay, we're also not gonna go directly straight. Okay, so we're not gonna hover directly straight. We're gonna go slightly to the left, right? So we're gonna hover this way, right? Not directly flat, because if I hover straight up from the middle, there's a mask. All right, this mask. So we end up bonking the mask. We don't, because when you hover straight up, you can bonk the mask and it pushes you forward. So if I hover straight up from here, the mask is gonna push me forward, right? So we don't want to do that either. So we hover slightly to the left so the mask doesn't get in the way. Hovering this way to the left so the mask doesn't hit me. Alright, cool. So, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to hover as high as, you want to go as high as this pillar. Yeah, this pillar here. About as high as this is fine, right? So as high as the tip of this pillar here. It goes all the way up like this. Hover about as high as that. Alright, as high as that should be fine. We're going to go to the left, not directly, and alright, bam, that's fine, dismount, whatever. Okay, cool. So that skips the cutscene. Now, if you want to practice this, the cutscene does not activate from behind, okay? So I could hit, so if I go forward from the cutscene, I will hit it, but if I go backwards from it, I will not touch the cutscene. So you can practice this, alright? If you want to practice this hover a little bit, right? You can just punch back and you can do it again, right? So you can just practice it again because it will not activate from behind. The cutscene only activates from going forward. So I can just practice this if I wish to do so. Cool, there's that. Alright, cool. So the cutscene's been skipped. Okay, now from here, yeah, you just hover to the other side. Yeah, just hover from here to the other side. So damn the bit. Okay, once again, if you die in this room, okay, you cannot be dying in this room. If you die in this room, runs over. Do not die in the room. So this hover has to be, you know, again, if you drop the hover, the run's kind of over, right? Blah, whatever. Okay. Now you can also do this room the any % way. So you can do like a concussor gun over the cutscene. There's like a concussor high jump you can do over the cutscene, right? You can do that over the cutscene, and then you can like do like some concussor movement over the hands, so you can do some stuff. It's like the any % way, so you can do that, right? But again, it's hero mode. You got the jetboard. You probably should be using the jetboard, right? Alright, cool. So come towards the door and then punch away, and then your skip is done. If we go to missions, we're at Rescue Team at Temple. We've already beat Cyborg Errol. It's Act 2 stuff. Don't worry, no big deal. From here, we're just going to reset the mission. That is Temple Skip, should be fine. Blah. Okay, now we're gonna jump over this rock, and then we shoot the. Okay, so you don't have to directly shoot the car. We're just gonna shoot like the stones in the back, and that will still destroy the car, right? So you don't actually have to like directly shoot the car, right? And from here, punch board out this way, and we're going to carrier. And that is your haven done. 2 versions. So there's going to be an OpenGoal and a PS2 version of the travel here, of this next travel here. So it's going to be OpenGoal. Okay, so I'm gonna go over PS2 first. PS2 is the easier one first. Alright, PS2 is easier. So I'll go over PS2 travel first. So coming out of the carrier, we're going to punch roll jump on this line. Alright, punch roll jump on this line. This black line going towards the tower. Punch, roll, jump on this line, right? And you should be, okay, if you're lucky, you should get a zoomer. It's a pretty high chance. So, punch, roll, jump. That was terrible. Do that again. Punch. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so you come out of this with a punch, roll, jump, right? So, punch, roll, jump. And then you mash. So you mash. There should be a zoomer here, right? If you do not get a zoomer, you got to find one. So let's just say I don't find a zoomer, right? Let's just say there's not a zoomer. It's like, oh, okay, cool. All right, there's no zoomer. I have to like, okay, so like you either jetboard it or you just try to find a zoomer that's flying around. Maybe like you just gotta get lucky, right? If you don't get a zoomer here, there's a very high chance you will get a zoomer. And then like same thing if you get like a 2-seater, again you just try and hope you get a zoomer up here or something. You know, like one that's flying around, like just trying to steal one, right? But there's a very high chance you will get a zoomer on there, right? Anyway, so from there, we're just going to go towards... We're going to go to New Haven from here, right? So this is PS2 first. All right, this is PS2 first. All right, cool. So from here, we're just gonna go to New Haven's PS2 first. Try and take the lines that I take. You can like go under this pipe here, and then you go left like this. All right, cool. So we're gonna come here. This is first skip. Okay, so we come towards this corner. Alright, and then we're just going to hop and dismount at the same time. So come to this corner, hop and dismount. We're going to hold forward. We're going to hold forward, alright? So hop, dismount, hold forward. And then we should go through the wall up here, right? Hop, dismount, go hold forward. You should go through this wall like that, right? Okay, it's very easy, not hard. There you can also, if you fail that somehow, you can also hover through it. So hover from the bottom like this, over this bit. Bam, not hard, you can do that. Hover through the bottom. There's also a very easy way. So if you don't want to hover either, or if the zoomer didn't really work, whatever, you can come to this line. Can't come up here to this line, roughly anywhere about here, like this line or below, is fine. And you can just uppercut into it like that. Not hard. Cool. Alright, cool. So from here, so from here we're going to do a death warp here. It's really easy. All you have to do, so this death warp only works if your camera is straight. Okay, so if the camera has to be straight like this, right? It has to be straight flush like this. Okay. If your camera is if the camera is like to the side, so if I punch off to the side with my camera kind of like to the right like this, it won't work. So if I do this, that won't work. That doesn't work. There you go. But if I die in the same spot, if I'm going to die again in the same spot, but my camera is flush straight, this will work. Okay, there we go. Cool. So now we're here. That just skips like the S, the big S, right? Alright, cool. Punch board. Blah, blah, blah. This way. Alright, so next up here. Okay, so this zoomer right here, it technically spawns out of bounds. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird to understand, but it spawns out of bounds. I will show you why. I will show you what happens here, right? So the thing spawns out of bounds, right? So if I go forward, I cannot get it back, right? It will spawn out of bounds. There is a visible wall here. So the zoomers will spawn out of bounds. So if you fail this, you're gonna have to deload it and grab another one, right? Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to grab the zoomer and immediately back up and go high. All right, that takes us through this wall here, right? All right, so we immediately back up and then go high on the zoomer. That gets you through this. All right. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to take the zoomer out of bounds, and we're going to you can see the mouse. All right, so we're gonna take the zoomer out of bounds. We're gonna go under. We're gonna go under the level here. Go under the level, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it through the side mission, and then all the way through this bit, through the square. All right, through that square, and we're gonna end at the corner of the New Haven here, right? Okay. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna go down. We're gonna alternate up and down on the zoomer, so we don't die, obviously, right? Now, this is like our first instance where having a bad PS2 model is going to affect. This is super laggy, okay? This is super fucking laggy. If your PS2 model is really low, it'll just eat your input and you might die, okay? So this is our first important instance where having a good PS2 is kind of important here for this strat. Otherwise, again, if you're on like a fat PS2, you might drop an input. Like it might just lag so much that like it just drops your input and then you'll die. Okay, but this is what it should look like. So up and down. Don't go too low. Don't go too low. All right, just keep it. Yeah, just keep it kind of like this. Don't go too low. We're going to go straight over the square area. Okay, so you see... Okay, so we've confirmed... So the water confirms that you've successfully loaded it, okay? So the water's there. Alright, cool. That's all. Okay, that's all that matters. The water's there, and then we just die in the corner. All right, and that puts us here. I'm just gonna go over a few small backups. So, just for the PS2 people, because again, so like this, so the zoomer under the slums is it will fail very often, I would say. It has a pretty high chance to fail, so there is a few backups, right? So if you do fail this, so there's a few ways to fail it. The first way to fail is you go above and you're back in bounds, right? So if I just do this, and then like, okay, like my input got eaten, right? So like one of these inputs got eaten, so like I'm back up again, right? Oh, okay, I fucked it up, right? Like, okay. So if you fuck it up like that, yeah, so if you fuck it up like that, then you're basically back in bounds above, right? The second way to fail it is if you die too early, which is basically the same thing. So what's going to happen is if I die again, it'll be the exact same thing. So, blah, do this. Can't see. If I die too early, so I go this way, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I've died too early. Okay, anyway, it basically just puts you here, right? It's the same scenario. It basically just puts you like behind like the building. It basically puts you here. So okay, there's a few backups. The first backup is you basically just jetboard the rest. Not a big deal. Jetboard the rest, and then you can hover over this. Hover over this, and then just die in the corner. Same thing. There's that. You can just die in the corner. Same thing there. Hover over that. Die in the corner. The second backup is you continue into here, you continue up until you're here, and then you do a reset mission. So that's the second backup, you just reset mission, you can do that as well. When you come, so you just jetboard up until here, reset mission, right? You should be in the same spot. And then this is probably the coolest way to do it. This is the third backup, and this is like my favorite backup. I love doing this, but you come to just before the square. I'm gonna go about about here, just before like this little ledge and the square. So just before the square, you come to about here, and then we're gonna do another triangle boost jump into the air, hover a little bit, and then so a triangle with like triangle jump out of it, side flip, boost jump. Same thing as before, and then we reset mission here, and this also grabs the checkpoint here as well. I love doing that, it's really cool. Okay, back here for the OpenGoal version of the travel. So same thing, same thing, we just grab a zoomer, go in this way. Same thing, this is the OpenGoal version now. Okay, yeah, so once again, so if you're on OpenGoal or if you're on PS3, it's the same thing. OpenGoal PS3 is the same thing. Taking the sewers is faster, right? So so we're going to dismount roughly about here, and then we can hover. We can use the boost from the vent, right? We can use the boost from the vent. We're gonna hover over this wall, and we land over here. Oh, don't die. Land over here, and then we're gonna. Right, we're going to wait until this loads in, right? So the sewers has to load. And then we punch into the sewers from above, okay? Anyway, we're going to take sewers now. Okay, so I'm going to show this off in camera. Okay, so we're going to try and go... Okay, so we're going to hover over... We're going to hover through this wall. We're going to hover through this. More to the right if you can. I would say more to the right. It is a bit risky on the left. So it's a little bit risky on the left, but more to the right. But I'll show you what we're aiming for, okay? So we're going to hover through the wall, and there will be another... We're going to aim for this, okay? There's another elevator out here, right? We want to aim for this with a hover, right? But it's more, again, like, so like you can see that it's kind of more like, if I go through the left one, it's a bit further out to the right. So you kind of want to aim slightly to the... Yeah, so like more to the right square here. That's like a good straight on, right? Anyway, we're going to aim for that, right? So this is a... Cool, alright. So to do this, okay, so you can like... I'd probably, okay, like just for like beginners though, I'd probably just like straighten up a bit, alright, not a big deal. And then we're just gonna just take it easy, alright? Just take it easy, okay? Because if you, so like the pros are gonna like side flip here, right? So like the pros are gonna side flip like this, but like you can barely make it over the wall like that, see? So like, just take it easy for the beginners, okay? Like side flipping is really hard here. So you're just gonna take it easy, right? We're just gonna take it easy. All right. So coming out of this way, turn to the So coming out of the sewers. Fuck, I fucked that up. Hold on. I'll do it again. It's fine. All right, cool. All right, coming out of sewers. Bam, over here. Right. Whatever, just slightly to the right. Or you can like straighten up. Just straighten up with the first person camera. No big deal. Anyway, we're aiming for the right one. Yeah, this one. Not the far left. So we're aiming for like the middle one. Just take it easy, alright? Oh my god. Wait, I'm bad. There we go. Alright. So we're aiming for, again, right one, it's fine. Take it easy. Okay, you can still see it, right? It's like partially loaded here. You see that, right? Alright, just take it easy, no big deal. Alright, cool. Then we just fall to the bottom. There should be a platform. Oops. There we go. Alright, cool. Platform. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna land here, and then we're just gonna walk through. We're just gonna walk through this bit, and that gives you. So what this does is it actually puts you at sewers 3. This is sewers 3, and then we end up at sewers 3. Exit sewers 3, and now we're at New Haven again. Okay, so now once again, both of the routes merge together, right? And so we're basically where PS2 is. We're gonna be skipping over White Barrier. I'll show you White Barrier. There's plenty of ways to skip White Barrier, actually. Now I think about it. Alright, cool. There's White Barrier. Okay, there's a few ways to do this. I'm not gonna cover all of them. I'm just gonna cover 2. I think 2 is fine. We're just gonna cover 2. Okay, so the first thing you can do. And this is okay. This is like more of an open goal thing. I would say this is probably more of an open goal thing, because like resetting mission is faster for open goal people. So when you reset a mission, like the black screen for resetting mission is faster. So like this first version, like the first strat I'm gonna show is probably more of an open goal thing. But you come roughly. I mean, I don't particularly know where it is specifically, but like roughly maybe like here. So like these blue tanks, somewhere here. But what's going to happen is you're going to do a triangle. So you're going to do a triangle to like a 180 triangle, and then you're going to jump out of that, side flip, and then boost jump off of that. So what's going to happen? So yeah, like that, see? So like when I do my side flip, it like shoots me up, right? So I'm going to boost jump with that. I'm going to triangle boost jump with it. It sends me all the way really, really high, right? So what's going to happen is, okay, and then I'm just going to hover straight up from here, right? So we're going to do triangle, side flip, boost jump, and we're just going to hover right up from this. Right, and then you get kind of high enough. And then if you reset, I think, should give you a checkpoint. No, it did. Okay. I've never really done this strat, but like a lot of people go for it. But I'm pretty old, so I don't really particularly know how this works. Specifically, I think it's like, okay, try like the tanks. It's like, okay, it's camera based, but you can do it. Where is my? It's camera based though. There we go. Oh, someone has told me in chat, when the enemies disappear from the map, you can restart. Okay, that's actually a good visual. Thank you for that. Ah, there we go. Alright, cool. I'll put you here. Okay, so for the PS2 people, this is not hard either. I love explaining this. I love this strat. This strat's good. Okay, so don't rush this. We're just gonna come to the the curving section. Just right here. We're just gonna come here. Alright, cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hover over this wall, this city wall, Anywhere from the left tank or the right tank, right? Anywhere inside the left tank or the right tank. Now I would probably aim for the left tank. That like potentially if you're too far right, it might not work, but anywhere from like left tank or right tank is completely fine. But I would personally aim for the left tank. That's just me. But yeah, it kind of works a little bit better on the left tank. Okay, so we're gonna hover. So this is the wall, right? Pretend this is the wall, right? This is me. This is Jay. We're gonna hover over the wall, and then when we get over the wall, we do not we don't just continue down like this, right? Okay, we're gonna dismount. Okay, so we're gonna hover over the wall, and then we're gonna dismount here at the top, and then we just fall down. We would just fall down like this, right? Just fall down. We don't just continue. We just fall down really close to the wall. Okay, it has to be close to the wall, so you can't just like fall down like outside, right? You gotta fall down close to the wall. Okay. So what's gonna happen, all right, is when I come over the wall and then I dismount here, the camera is gonna go up like this, and then it's gonna follow me down. Okay, so the camera goes up and then it follows me down, right, over the wall. Okay. Okay, and then also while you're doing this, so there's gonna be like a water plane as well. Don't touch the water plane. So it has to be like in the void. So the void's gonna be here. Don't touch the water, but you just want to fall next to the wall, but don't touch the water. All right. So just take it easy. It's not hard. It's not hard. All right, just take it easy. Hold on now. All right. Over the wall. All right. Dismount. Now the camera zooms up, right? So when I dismount, the camera zoomed up, right? See that? Camera zoomed up real fast. And then I'm just gonna fall, like not where the water's at. You see that? I'm just behind. No, I'm just in front of the water, but I haven't gone way far out. Okay, I've just yeah. All right. And that gives me the checkpoint as well. So it's really easy. It's not hard. The death warp. Yes. Back here. Okay. Roll jump to the right. Grab this. Grab that, and then don't go for it, but we're going to go back, and we're going to go through here. Careful now. Okay, we can grind this, and we want to go into Palace Ruins, right? So Palace Ruins is in here. Okay, but the timer, right? So we want to go into Palace Ruins before the timer is finished, right? So we go into Palace Ruins here. Now, okay, once again, if hovering is a little bit hard, okay, just take it easy. It's okay, okay. Take it easy, all right? You can do it from just do it from a standstill, okay? You got plenty of time. Like there's plenty. Look, I still got plenty of time. I got plenty of fucking time. Plenty of time. See, I even waited a little bit. I dismounted. You got plenty of time to do that. Just take it easy, all right? It's not hard. Take it easy. Just take your time. You got plenty of time. All right, cool. Walk through here, and we can punch here. All right. So. Now we're in Palace Ruins, right? But there's no enemies. And we have to keep it that way. So what's going to happen here is so we do not. Yeah. So we're gonna this is the start of the BTR skip. Okay. So we can skip BTR, but you have to not die. Okay. So the side mission is technically active. So if we die, the side mission's gone, and then I'll put all the enemies back in again, and it'll make BTR back to normal. Okay, so we can't skip BTR, so we have to not die from here on out. All right, so from here, no deaths. All right, okay, no deaths. Take it easy, right? So take it easy. No big deal. Okay, once again, if your hovering is a little bit bad, you can go that way casually, and you'll end up over there. Otherwise, you can just hover from here. Deal. You can bonk that to turn around like that, and then you hover from here to the other side, like that. Or just you just take it easy. Just go that way, this way, come around to here, jump front flip. Yeah, so you can jump front flip from here. So again, if hovering's too hard, just take it easy, right? Just take it easy. So whatever you'd probably do like this, right? So you come over here, this way. You land here, you can just do this, Front flip like that, whatever. I think you have light jack here as well. Yeah, you can do light jack stuff. Infinite flight if that's needed. If you really have to do it that way. If you're very scared, I suppose. Otherwise, just take it this way. This is all really hard. Okay, so like yeah, like the terrain here is fucking terrible, whatever. That's a tough. Okay, take the double rail. Don't go. Okay, so you can do a single rail there. So there's a single rail, but your speed has to be like really good. Okay, if your speed is bad, you cannot do a single rail. Okay, the single rail will fail, so you cannot do single rail. I'll show off single rail. Okay, well I'll show it off if you fail it, right? If you fail single rail, it won't work. Like that, yeah. So if you do not have good speed going into single rail, you cannot skip the second rail, and then you'll bonk on that, and you'll just die, right? So you cannot do single rail. You have to have good speed to do single rail. So again, just for safety, you just take it single rail. Yeah, single rail. Otherwise, you can skip it, but you need good speed like that. Yeah. Otherwise, just take it single rail. It's fine. Whoops. Hold on. All right. Come around this way like this. Again, the terrain shit, you can kind of hover. Again, you can do like like pro movement, like once you get better, but you can you can jump front flip this or something, right? Anyway, just take it easy. Okay, so we're gonna come to here. Come here now. Okay, and then once again, so now we're gonna hover this way. I know it's a little bit counterintuitive. Okay, I know we just came from that way. It's a little bit counterintuitive here, but we're going to aim for a hover directly straight on to the metalhead tower in the back. The tower. So you can go this way. This is like the old way. You can do it this way. It's a really, really old way. I wouldn't really recommend it. I mean, like the movement this way is actually probably harder than just hovering straight up. So it's like, would you rather do like one hover, or would you rather take this and like there's probably harder movement, or just do it casually? It's like whatever. Like up to you. Or you can use like light jack, whatever. Light jacket, or just do it casually. Okay, but yeah, speedrun wise, you'd probably just want to do this. Right. So we're aiming straight on with the metalhead tower. We're just going to do, side flip hover. We're just going to mash really high. Just mashing real high here. Okay, so we've got to keep mashing until I see this. Okay, so there's a building. Okay, this gray panel is not on PS2. I'm going to be honest. This gray panel, you cannot see this gray panel on PS2. But it's obviously here on OpenGoal right now. So you cannot actually see this panel on PS2. But anyway, you keep hovering until you get to this building. It's actually like a hexagon kind of thing. It's like a hexagon kind. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like a hexagon kind of thing going on. It's kind of like that. It's like, yeah. Anyway, you keep going until you see this, right? And then once you see this, you're gonna free fall. So free fall is mashing X. So yeah. So when you're gonna So free falling is releasing a hover, and then you free fall, mashing X, right? So after you've released the hover, you're going to mash X. Anyway, so you're gonna so free fall, and then you're gonna free fall to the right. So you're gonna, well, that looks like the left. But yeah, free fall to the right here, right? So because we're just gonna move to the right. So once I see this building, we free fall right. Cool. I see. Okay, cool. Okay, I've now turned to the right. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm turning. Okay, so I'm free falling right here, and then once I free fall right, we should end up where these bricks are. These bricks here. So I should end up where these bricks are. And here's the building. Where's the building? Where is this? Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, that's the building. Okay, so that's the hexagon building, right? So this is the hexagon building. Once I see this with my hover, I'm going to free fall right, and then that puts me like right behind the bricks, right? Cool. And then that's where BTR is at. Okay, so now we have the side mission. So the side mission is still active. Now we're in BTR with no car. Now, once again, do not die here just yet. All right, do not die. You cannot be dying. Do not reset mission just yet. Don't do any of that just yet. All right, so try and jump where. Okay, there's a camera. There's an automatic camera here. Okay, so just be careful. Don't be alarmed, but There is an automatic camera for a little bit, no big deal. It's basically where the white, it's basically, it happens where the yellow square is. So you get an automatic camera at the yellow square. Okay, and then this is a bit slidey here, so you see this next panel is a bit slidey. It's kind of slidey, so you can't really like punch. You can't like, you may not be able to like directly jump over it. So, I mean, it's not really a big deal. Just do that. But anyway, coming out of the coming out of the camera, you just punch board over the slippery bit, right? Cool. Right. So then you hover over this. That puts you here. There's also a little bit of an out of bounds that you can do over here as well. So instead of going that way, so instead of hovering over, you can take this little bit. So where's the square? Where was the square at? Here we go. All right, cool. So instead of hovering, you can take it this way, and you go to the left. And there's an out of bounds here. Take to the left. And I guess you would jetboard this. I don't know, but there's a jetboard here. That takes you out of bounds, and then you can go back in like this. Cool. Okay, so right here is so for the PS2 people, this area lags a fuck ton. All right, so you will get a dropped. I'm pretty guarantee you will get a dropped input on PS2 when you get to here. Okay, so this is a very notorious dropped input spot. There is so much lag right here. When you approach this barrier, you will get a dropped input, so you must be careful. But for OpenGoal, it's fine. All right, you'll be right. Okay. Anyway, so from here, cool. Come this way. Okay. So now we're gonna hover into the white building. This white pillar building here. Hover into this white pillar building. Okay. Okay. So there's a slight difference here for OpenGoal and PS2. So what's gonna happen here is, okay. So we're gonna hover over this. And then you'll see another. You'll see another one. There's another white building. Just so through this first white building, there's another white building to the right directly. Through here, so you'll wanna hover through back in bounds into here, and then you do a reset mission. Right, so you reset mission. That's OpenGoal. Okay, all right, that's OpenGoal. Okay, but for PS2 people, it is faster to take a death. Okay, so you take a death instead. It is faster to take a death. So for the PS2 people, we're gonna same thing again. We're gonna hover through the white building again. All right, and then we kind of just fall. All right, but there's gonna be water. There's water here somewhere. Here it is. Oh no. There's the water. Okay, all right. So you'll land on the water, but then you'll continue further, and then you'll take a death here. So there's a death here. Okay, so again, PS2 takes a death. OpenGoal does a reset. Okay, now you end up here, and then now the side mission's gone. Okay, so the side mission's gone. So the game's like, okay, all the enemies come back in, and like everything's back to normal, right? But I still don't have the car. Okay, I still don't have the car. So if I die again, right? If I die or I reset again, it will give me the car. So I cannot do that again, right? So do not do any more resets or deaths. Alright, cool. So you can hover over this, and then you'll stop hovering about. Oh, okay. I just literally just passed it. Okay, you'll stop hovering about here, and then you'll land over the barrier. There's the barrier. I'll do that again. There's a good visual for this actually. I come out of this. Bang, bang. One more. Okay, so the visual is this is the visual. So hover over this wall. Alright, I will stop hovering. I stop hovering when I stop seeing. Okay, so when I stop seeing this plank, alright, there's a plank. Alright, this little beam. When the beam is gone from the view, I stop hovering. Okay, that's my strat. So I stop hovering. Cool. Okay, I don't see it anymore. Then I stop. I'm always over the barrier usually. Alright, you got to have like some good side flips, right? So you stop hovering when you get over when you stop seeing the plank. Okay. So if you don't hover that's not a big deal. You can just take it all the way around. So just go this way. It's same thing. You know where to go, right? Go this way. Take a left. It's just a small S, right? And then you can hover over it, right? You can hover over it again. Or there's also an infinite jump. So these little squares are infinite jump as well. So you can actually do this. So if you don't want to hover this either, you can just infinite jump over these. There you go, really easy, not hard. Okay, so once again, for the PS2 people, the hover from here to the other side of the end of BTR. So from here to the other side where the barrier is at, you is extremely likely to drop a hover here. You will also get so much lag that the game will drop the hover. It is extremely likely for you to drop a hover here. But otherwise, it will look like this. You just hover over this, and then hover over the barrier. It's not hard. Another hover, right? But it is extremely likely that on PS2, you will drop this. Because the game lags so much. So, if that is not something that you want to deal with, you can just, okay, so you just extended front flip to the middle. And then you can do the same thing again, extended front flip from here to the other side, right? You can do extended front flips, so you don't have to worry about the hover dropping here. So, over here, and then maybe like one of them from here, on the other side. It's a little bit. It's quite big actually. That one's quite big. That's all safe. Everything's fine. What else was there here? Yeah, you're just gonna drop it real easy if you just hover from here to here. OpenGoal's fine, not a big deal. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. Okay, and so when you so if so we're obviously gonna hover over this, right? So if I hover over this, bam, right? That's that's what you want to do. You want to hover over this barrier, right? Now, if you fail, so if you underjudge it, you can do the same thing. So you can get this to get over, right? You can do that to get over the barrier as well. There's also this as well, so you can just like high jump through the corner here. That. There's like a small kind of backup as well. If you fail, if the hover drops here, there's like a bit of a backup. So if I fail my hover here, okay, cool, whatever. You can like come towards the rubble and you can like use the gun here. You can like get to the grass a little bit. Or you can even like high jump spin. You can like just jump and spin to get to the grass. You can grab the grass. So that's a bit of a backup there as well. And then same thing here, you can just concuss over to the side, whatever. Anyway, that finishes BTR. Subrails now. Okay, so rule number 1, hold X. If you are not holding the X button during Subrails, you are losing time. Hold X on everything on everything I love. Hold X. If you're not holding X, you're losing time. You're already slow. Hold X. Okay, so this is what I like to do. Okay, it's okay. So, and then this subrail specifically, it like the tunnel curves to the left or right. So, think of it kind of like the apex. No, like cutting a corner with an apex, right? So like you kind of like turning. So like I don't want to have to go like all the way out. I want to take the inner circle because it's shorter, right? So I'm taking the inner curve because it's shorter, not the outer curve because it's longer. Okay, so we basically take the inner curve, right? So okay, I have a few visuals for this, so I'm gonna go over my visuals. Okay. Hold X. Okay. We're gonna go. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend the circle. Okay, so I like to pretend Subrails is a clock. Okay, so this is a clock. Okay, we're gonna go like 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, 7. Right? Okay, all right. So we're gonna pretend Subrails is a clock. Okay, so the first thing I do is right here, I'm gonna go 5 o'clock. Okay, 5 o'clock here. 5 o'clock. Okay, now I can't go any further like 3 o'clock because there's a mountain there and there's also a void. All right, so the void there. Okay, once you pass that, you're gonna go like 2 o'clock. All right, so 2 o'clock now. 2 o'clock here. Okay, there's gonna be a yellow section. Hold on, there's gonna be a yellow section. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, here's the yellow section. I want to go. Oh, okay, okay, this line, alright? I want to go, like, above this bomb. So I like to go above this bomb, but not any further like above, because I'll, you know, obviously die and fling out. All right, I'll just fling out and die. So we go above the bomb at 2 o'clock. Okay, so 2 o'clock here, above the bomb. Okay, then after that, we go back down to 5, because again, there's nothing above, right? So back down to 5. We're gonna stay 5. Alright, then, okay, so now the tunnel has switched directions, right? It's switching its curve, so now we're going to go to the left now, because the tunnel is no longer curving to the right, it's now curving to the left. So now we're going to switch curving directions. It's okay, so it's about middle here, so now it's curving to the left. So now we're going to go, about, what is it, like 9 or like 8? Yeah, like about like 8 from here, right? Watch out for... Keep spamming. Alright, we're gonna go 8 o'clock here. 8 o'clock the whole way. And that is it. 8 the whole way. Keep going. Alright, now it's gonna straighten up again, a little bit to the left. Okay, and if you're lucky, you can get a bit of a fling here, and hopefully it goes upside down. If it goes upside down, you get extra speed and whatever. You can use beam reflexor, or you can nuke. Alright, so immediately walk to the right. Okay, whatever, yeah. Walk to the right. So immediately walk right, and then just spray reflexor, right? So bang, just spray. Keep walking to the right towards the door, just keep spraying. Alright, when you get to about this line, when you end up walking to about this line, it should open up. There you go. Okay, that clears the door. Now, so there's that. You can use a reflexor for that. Now, although you can use nuke, so walk to the right, nuke immediately, roll jump. Okay, so walk right immediately, shoot nuke, roll jump to get past like the spikes, right? And you'll be here as well. Now, okay, just be careful. So if you're doing nuke on PS2, so if you're doing nuke here on PS2, there may be some lag from the nuke coming up. Okay, so when you come, so when, because now we have to do the hover, right? We have to do the dark ship hover, right? So there may be a little bit of lag from the nuke on PS2. Gotta be just slightly aware of that, okay? Coming up, like, you know, when we continue this way. Okay, cool. So there's that. Okay, so just for demonstration, I'm just gonna kill these guys. You don't actually kill any of these, so don't worry about that. So I'm just gonna kill them just for demonstration. Okay, so I like this hover. This hover's cool. Okay, so from this platform, preferably this square, preferably, or like maybe like the left half. Yeah, I would say like maybe like the left half of this square, preferably, right? It's not a big deal, but like the left half of the square, roughly, about here, right? Cool. So aside from here, we're gonna hover. I want to hover. I want to say, yeah, okay, hover towards. Okay, if you can aim a hover straight through this thin, there's this thin one. Okay, I'm using my mouse, right? Like straight through the thin one. Okay, or maybe like the thick one. Okay, so like anywhere from like the thin one or the thick one, like just next to it. That's pretty good. But like probably the thin one's okay. So potentially the thin one. Okay, cool. All right, so there's that. Okay, we're gonna hover through that. Okay, so this has to be. Okay, well, because we have to get enough height for this hover, okay? So there has to be enough height. Like I have a bit of a count for it. I have a bit of a counting strat for how long you're supposed to hover for, because you can't see anything past this because it's just a void, right? So it's just completely like space outside, so you can't actually see anything. There's like nothing to tell you like where you're at usually. So I have a bit of a count for it, but it depends on like how fast you're mashing, and also depends on like if you're doing one side flip or if you're doing two side flips. It depends. But anyway, we'll go over the angle first. So the angle, it looks like this, right? So if I go from here, and I'm aiming for the thin piece, right? This piece here. Okay, you see? Yeah, there you go. Okay, right. I'm gonna so through this piece. we're also straight on with this bit of the ceiling, okay? This dark bit of the ceiling. And then once again, right, straight on with that, there is the elevator, right? So those are your visuals, okay? So those are the visuals that you have to be using, right? So from here, roughly, yeah, about here, going through, okay, maybe like slightly left of the thin, I don't know. Like anywhere from this big one to the other big one, I don't know. I would probably say, I think it is actually the left big one, I think actually, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, but like roughly like the left big one or the small thin one, right? So anyway, in between here, bam. Okay, then you get this, right? Then you can then you like this is a visual, right? So you'll be straight on with this, and then continuing hovering, you'll be straight on with the elevator, right? So that's your hover, okay? Those are the visuals. That should be fine. Now, okay, if you're slightly too far left or too far right, we're gonna free fall, okay? So you don't have to be dead. You don't have to be dead on with this, okay? There's going to be a slight left, slight right, okay? You can save it with a free fall, okay? So you can save it with free fall. It's not a big deal. Okay, now when you go back in bounds on this elevator, you do not want to go... Okay, if you are below, like, all this kind of, like, bit that's sticking out here, this bit that's sticking out, and then also this bit that's slightly sticking out on the right side, if you're below any of this, the game basically just crashes. So you don't want to enter, so do not enter from any of these. Alright, you want to enter above this, okay, above this. Okay, if you enter below, if you enter from below, either the skip won't work, or the game will crash, right? Crashing is the worst case scenario, which is not good. So do not enter from, yeah, any, like this bit sticking out and then this bit on the right. So anywhere above that should be fine. You should be okay. Again, yeah. So I should be right. Okay, so I think with just like a general hover mashing technique, I think single side flip is like 5 seconds. So if I do this, okay, so I'm gonna count when I pass the wall. Okay. So when you hover here, you're gonna start counting when you pass this wall. All right. So I am now past the wall. I now start counting. Okay. So we're gonna count to 5, I think. Or 6. I can't. It's either 5 or 6. 1. Oh, I fucked that up. Okay, yeah. So when I pass the wall, okay, we're gonna start counting with our hover. Bang here. Fuck that guy. Okay, one side flip is like 5 or 6, roughly. It depends on how hard. It depends on how fast you're mashing as well. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, stop. Okay, and we free fall for safety, and we're gonna go right above. That's pretty good. Yeah. So like, just a general mash, kind of like that, right? That's like it's about 5 seconds, right? Okay. Then okay. So if you and then we're coming out of the hover, and then we free fall just for safety. So if I'm like too far to the left, too far right, we free fall. All right, and we get back in bounds like this. Bam, easy. Timer goes away. Dismount. We're going to come towards the door frame, right? The door frame's down here. We'll come towards the door frame, and then we spin onto the door frame, and then it loads at it, and then we punch that way. Okay, so again, if you double side flip this, I think it's like 4 seconds instead. So we'll do it again. Now, I'll do double side flip this time. Here we go. Okay. I also like to mount over that door frame. All right, here we go. 2. Alright, should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. And we're in again. Very good. Okay, that should be fine. That's good enough. Alright, and then once again, blah, come backwards this way after the timer goes away. Spin onto the door frame. That loads in, and then, yeah, this way. Okay, you can hover. Okay, so this is the escape. It's not a big deal. You can hover over it. It is slower to hover over the entire thing. It's technically slower to hover the whole thing. Otherwise, you just chain a bunch of you just chain a bunch of boost jumps. So that's bad. Hold on, try that again. You just chain boost jumps and side flips. So boost jump, side flip, boost jump, side flip, boost jump, side flip. Side flip jump over that. Boost jumps over here. twist jump side flip, twist jump side flip, and then you come to the right. You just jump over the right side. Do not go on the left. On the last one here, do not go to the left. You jump over the right instead. And that does dark shadow. I should be fine. Terraformer is not hard. Okay, so immediately coming out of Dark Ship, we're going to accelerate immediately, and you can boost. You don't have to boost here if you don't want to boost, but I would recommend boosting because we have to get somewhere on the... We have to chase down the Terraformer, right? So we have to keep up with how it's walking, okay? So we have to chase it down, right? So I'm going to boost. You don't have to boost, but we have to get somewhere in the desert first. So we're just going to get to the spot where you want to be at, okay? So I like to go to the right into this dip here. Okay, cool. So here he comes. Okay, so we're going to come towards this mountain here, this mountain. Now there's going to be some stones. We're gonna peer. Okay, here are the stones. We're gonna come to the stones. Here's some stones, and then we're gonna curve in to the right slowly. Okay, curve to the right like this, and our first leg will be here. First leg. There's that. Okay, now there's gonna be another one to the right, so we're gonna come this way. And then drift right, drift left and grab that one. I missed it. Okay, I'll do it in full once again. That's okay. I'll do it again. Alright, come to the left, this mountain where the stones are at. Here comes the foot. There it is. Alright, then we go to the right of it and we drift left and grab that one. Okay, now. This foot is going to leave. Okay, it's gonna make. Okay, there's gonna be a black circle. There you go, right there. Okay, so it leaves a black circle. Right, we're gonna come onto the black circle. All right, there's gonna be this one. Then we slowly turn to the right, and there's gonna be another two. Bang, bang. Slowly turn to right. U-turn. Right, and there's gonna be one behind us. Now we go to the right of this. Then we grab these two here. Bang, bang. Then we come left where the tree. There's going to be bombs here. We've got to be careful with bombs, alright? Oh, see? Alright, there's bombs. But we have to get to that leg. Alright, there's that leg there. So I'm going to do this again a little bit faster. Just to show you what's going on for the rest. Black circle. Stay here. Bang, bang. Oh, here to the right. Okay, let's see. Here to the right again. Come here, you. Grab that one. This and this. Okay, bomb field. La 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 la. Careful now. Watch out. Okay, so now, okay, we're gonna come as. Okay, so there is actually two tokens here. There's one here, and there's one around its foot to the right. Now we're gonna try and hit. Okay, this is the important one, right? This is a very important one. We're gonna try and hit this one to the right. Now the only. Okay, so because the angle of the car versus the foot. Because the angle of the car's position versus the foot, I cannot hit that without being as far to the right as possible. So I have to be as far right. I have to be as far right as possible to be able to hit this token. Otherwise, if I'm too far left, I cannot snipe that from around the corner. So we're gonna come as far right as possible towards this stone, right? So I'm gonna go all the way out, right close to the stone right here, right? You can see the kind of glow right here, but I'm as close as I can get to the stone here. And that will grab, yeah, okay, that's perfect, right? So as close as you can to the stone will grab the one around the foot. So there's that. Then there'll be this and that other one. There it is there. And then we, bam, that's the last one. Okay, now, so that one around the foot that we just got next to the stone, that's like the determination whether you fail this or save it, right? So so if you don't get that one around the foot, like that, there is a backup, right? So we can back it up to the slow instead, right? We back it up to slow cycle instead. So I'll show that off. Okay, so let's just show off if I fail that, right? So if I fail that, there's a backup. Okay, here again. Okay, good. Oh, big drift that time. Cool. Alright, black circle again. Here to the right. Here right again. Like the boost here. Nice. Okay, bomb field here. Which I've got a bomb here. Alright, cool. Okay, so we're going to go all the way to the right usually. Okay. Now, I'm just going to pretend I missed that. Okay, so if I miss this... Okay, so, okay, I missed that, right? Okay, but let's just say if you did miss it, okay? So what you're going to do is you do not continue doing the other feat, alright? You do not continue with the other feat. You're going to chase this down, alright? You chase this. Alright, and then this actually repeats in the same pattern as, like, as normal, but just further into the desert, right? So we're gonna save that, and then same thing here, back to the left, and these two, and then again back to the right for the last one. So it repeats, so like the last few feet repeat like that in the same positions. So yeah. Okay, now final boss. Okay, usually you, okay, don't worry about killing these guys, but usually you, okay, if you can concussor here, it's probably worth. Yeah, so yeah, you just concussor. This is the norm. Okay, if you can't concussor, then you know whatever. Just make your way to the top, right? Concussor all the way to the left. You'll be up here. You can also do. There's also like a bit of a jet board strat. The jet board strat here is really hard. You can like jet board to the top. It's a little bit hard. I don't even know how to do it. It's kind of hard. You can, yeah, something like this with a bit of speed. I don't particularly know. Also, light jet wings is actually pretty fast here. Actually, if you can do it right, yeah, wings is actually pretty good. Punchboard here, yeah, another wings here. Yeah, wings is pretty good here actually. Yeah. So if you want to go for wings, that's not too bad. It's a bit of a like an unlisted kind of thing. So wings is actually decent here. No one really goes for wings, but it's pretty fast as you can see. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, and then at the top, okay, so when we hit the top, we're just gonna do a nuke, right? And yeah, and then we do blue 3, and we just spray a bunch for now. Just spray a bunch for now. It's not a big deal. Just spray a bunch for now. It's okay. Spray a little bit for now. It's not a big deal. Okay, now, so when we're going to do damage, okay, so we're going to be doing damage with the mass inverter actually, okay, so this is kind of the new thing now. So we're going to be doing damage with mass inverter only. Okay, so we're gonna go to right here, right, the edge of the platform, but like right here. It's like extremely specific, I guess. All right, at the front. Okay, I want to stand right here. All right, and then I shoot a mass inverter. Okay. So I'll shoot mass inverter right here. Okay. Shoot mass inverter there. If I have enough time to do so. Okay, alright. And then you shoot it when he shoots. Okay, so when the laser shoots me, that's when I shoot it, okay? Okay, so I've done it a little bit. It's not really that big of a deal, but I want to shoot the laser. Sorry, I want to shoot the mass inverter when he shoots me, okay? It isn't that big of a deal, but it's not that precise timing, but you do want to shoot it basically when he shoots me. Alright, that should be fine. Okay, so I'm ready. Right now. Alright, cool. Okay, and then so that's just gonna hit him automatically. So when he turns his head to reveal himself, the mass inverter is already just gonna hit him, right? So that's already done. Now at the beginning of every phase, we're gonna shoot a nuke backwards. So I'm gonna stand at the front of the stage, and then I'm gonna shoot the nuke backwards, right? Every time. So every time we do damage, we're gonna shoot backwards, okay? Yeah. Oh, that didn't work. What the fuck? Why didn't that work? What? Why didn't that work? Oh my god. What happened? Okay, well if that doesn't work, then just shoot him with the blue 3. Why didn't that work? I'm tripping. Why didn't that work? That's fine. Try that again. Okay, there we go. Okay, that should work. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay, anyway. Okay, so when he shakes his head, right? Okay, so I'm prepping my nuke to shoot backwards, right? So I'm facing backwards, and the nuke's ready. Okay, so when he finishes shaking the head, Okay, about there. We'll shoot another nuke now. Alright, and then same thing, we're just going to do blue again. Alright. Again, it should be last set of enemies here. Okay, then we get ready for another one. I'm going to stand right here. Okay, that's when he shoots me. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, now don't shoot immediately because now we're going to have one bonk. Okay, one bonk, one bonk. Okay, now, so to time the nuke with a bonk. Okay, so instead of the head shake, he's now going to do a bonk, right? So we have to time the nuke with a bonk. So we're going to shoot the nuke when his head is fully raised. So he's bonking when his head is fully raised. Okay, when the head's fully raised. About now, that's perfect right there. When the head's fully raised, that's perfect right there. Good timing there. Okay, now. Okay, so from here on out, now we're going to have some spinners. Okay, so they're going to be spinners. So we can kill spinners with... We just shoot one of those. That just kills a spinner on the spot. It's not a big deal. There's going to be another one here. Okay, and then once again, we're going to... Okay, so after the second spinner, we're going to stand once again at the front of the stage. Okay, now this is a good timing for this next bit. So once the mass inverter has killed the second spinner, right? So it's already, so the mass inverter is already ready to kill the second spinner, right? So I'm gonna stand at the front again for another nuke, okay? So once that's done, okay. So so there's a bit of a timing here, okay? So once the second spinner is killed, I want to count to 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that was a little bit late, but that's okay. But again, roughly 5 seconds, and then you get more of the guys, and then you shoot another nuke, right? So it's about 5 seconds. Okay, and you get more dudes. Okay, then we're going to keep spraying. So it's about 5 seconds, roughly. I counted them maybe a bit slow, who knows? About 4 or 5 seconds. I like to do 5, that's me, but maybe 4 is better. Okay, anyway, same thing, we're just going to spray. This doesn't really matter. Spray blue. Alright, the big guy and the small one are the last one as well. Okay, cool, so now we're going to get ready in the position. Alright, we're going to be in the position for the mass inverter here. Okay, this is his last laser. Okay, good. Alright, then I'm going to stand once again on the front of the stage facing backwards for yet another nuke. He's going to shake his head. Here's a head shake, another one. Good. Okay, spinner. Okay, I kind of missed that. That's okay. Okay, now usually, okay, now I would very much recommend shooting. So okay, this little crystal that I'm on right, yeah. So like this crystal that I'm standing on right now is like the peak perfect position to be killing spinners. Okay, you'd be killing spinners on this position. Because, okay, so you have to keep in mind that it is not, so when you shoot the mass inverter, it like obviously affects a bunch of stuff inside of it, but it's actually not what is inside that is affected. It's actually the ring. So when the ring expands, it is only the edge of the ring that can do damage, okay? Only the edge of the ring that can do damage. What's on the inside of the mass inverter does not actually do any damage. So for example, if I can like, okay, so like pretend it's like flat 2D right now, okay? So here's this, but my platform's like here, okay? So this is my mass inverter, but the platform's here, okay? And then the spinner spawns inside of the circle. He will not die, okay? The spinner will not die because he has spawned inside of the circle of the mass inverter. So I'm going to shoot the mass inverter. So the platform, this is the platform, okay? The platform, I'm going to shoot it so the edge of the ring is on the edge of the platform. So this is a good spot to do that. Because when I do shoot another mass inverter, it stops. You see how the whole ring stops on the edge of the platform. It does not go any further out than that. That's because I've shot it a bit from before. But again, it is not from what's inside of the mass inverter that will kill anything. It is actually the ring itself. That's a bit of a scuffed explanation, but whatever. Anyway, here's the second one. Same thing again. We're gonna stand over here. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 shoot. Good. Nice. Anything there, blah, blah. Well, that was pretty good. We actually timed it pretty well, actually, that time. Okay, I will also teach final barrier coming up. Not now. In a minute. Okay, I'm in the spot again. Here we go. Massive inverted ready. He's gonna shoot me. Another one there, and we're readying a nuke again. Shake the head. Another nuke. Spin up. Oh. Okay, and then once again, I want to stand right here and usually shoot another one. That's done. Okay, and then again, we're prepping, ready. 1,000, 2,000. Good. That's good. 5 seconds again. Okay, so now, so next phase is going to be laser skip. Okay, so we're going to try to do laser skip. Okay, laser skip is very easy. As long as you do it the right way, it's very easy on hero mode. It is very much a lot harder to get on any percent because you don't have infinite ammo, so you have to, and you also don't have infinite health either. So you have to like suss out like how much ammo you have and how much health you have. It's a lot harder on any percent, but okay, this is what's gonna happen. So you don't have to. Okay, I like to start the phase on the right side, so I'll show you why. I like to start the phase on the right side. So far we've been shooting the nuke to the left. Okay, so we've been standing on the left and shooting the nuke backwards from the left side. I like to go from the right, so I'm gonna go from the right just to teach this. But you could probably do it from, I guess, anywhere, but it depends. It depends on like how fast you kill everything after that. But okay, anyway, I'll show you why I like to go from the right. So here we go. It should be the last one, I think. So we have 2 bonks now. Okay, I'm gonna go to the right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so 2 bonks. I'm gonna go to the right. Okay, now once again we're gonna time the nuke when the head is raised. Okay, when the head's raised. Okay, so 2 bonks. Head is raised. Now, okay. So I don't know if you just saw it. There's a guy. There's a dude. Where is he? Okay, there was this thing right here. Okay, there's a cluster right here. Okay, this is why I like to do this on the right side because you have to kill this cluster. There is a small cluster that spawns again on the right side. I want to be on the right side so I can kill him very fast. Alright, cool. So he's gone. Okay, so this phase is cleared. Okay, so there's going to be a spinner. Okay, good. Okay, and then we should have. Okay, so he's already shot his first laser, but there'll be a spinner. So it'll be laser 1. It'll be laser 1 and then spinner 1. Okay. So once after the spinner 1, we're gonna have laser 2, and then I'm gonna shoot a gyro in the middle, and there's gonna be clusters here as well. Okay, they should die hopefully. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we're gonna have spinner 2 and laser 3. Spinner 2, laser 3. Okay, clear these guys out if you can. Okay, good. Alright, then we're gonna have laser 4 and spinner 3. And I'm also gonna show you gyro on the right side. There's gonna be another spawn on the right side as well. Alright, there'll be another spawn on the right side. Check that right side. Alright, and then he should skip. So he'll be waiting. Skip, please. Yes, okay, there's a skip. Alright, nice. Alright, good. Okay, and then you can just finish off the game with whatever you want. Good, laser skip. Very nice. That was good. Okay. I'll just shoot the blue 3 here. Okay, that should be it. Nice laser skip. Very good.